didn't get my pacemaker when I was supposed to get my pacemaker. Let's put it at that. I don't know what happened, when it happened, but it happened. I didn't get my pacemaker when I was supposed to get it. I was supposed to get it January 28th. I didn't get it until July 13th, 2016. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This will be a 3-part video leading up to my gastric pacemaker surgery. I wish I can just jump into the gastric pacemaker surgery, but then you're going to be confused when I tell you the whole scenario that went down. So make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and watch. After being diagnosed with gastroparesis, my life was hell. Well, before my actual diagnosis, my life was hell. And after finally being discharged from Methodist because my condition was too severe, all they could was hydrate me and control my diabetes. There was nothing more for them to do. My mother was referred to a stomach specialist in the Soho area of Manhattan. She set the appointment, and during the appointment, she noticed a vibe from the doctor. Like, the doctor was very standoffish. She just didn't like what she was hearing from him. I believe he told her, my stomach needs to be removed. There's nothing more to do with the situation. Gastroparesis is uncurable. During the appointment, they weighed me, they ran tests, they scanned my stomach. At that time, I believe my weight was between 90 and 95 pounds, and the nurses, they just kept asking me questions that I could not answer. I caught an anxiety attack because, one, I'm nauseous. Can you not see the vomit bag in my hand? 2, I'm nauseous. My mother's here. Stop asking me questions. My mother was my voice for maybe about 2 years. I didn't speak to no one. 45 minutes into the visit, I got sick. Now the nurses and doctors are looking at me like I got 15 heads because I wouldn't stop vomiting. My mom asked him, where is the closest hospital? He told her NYU Langone. I believe that's how I pronounce it. If my mother would have called 911, we would have never made it to the hospital. Manhattan, the area of Soho, is always crowded. So my mom got me dressed. We went downstairs and we flagged the cab. Got in the yellow cab and we rushed to NYU. Now we're at NYU. I stayed in the cab. My mother went inside of the emergency room, got help, got a wheelchair, came back outside to escort me from the cab into the emergency room. Now we're in the emergency room. My mom is explaining everything to them, and I'm just sitting there just vomiting up my guts. When we were at the specialist in Soho, my vomit, it was like yellowish. From leaving the specialist, downstairs, into the cab, to NYU, my vomit turned really dark. It almost looked like blood, but it wasn't blood. It was just really dark brown. That's when I knew that I wasn't going to leave the hospital. Now we're in the ER. I'm on the stretcher. Now I'm screaming. My body's starting to cramp up. I'm dehydrated. I'm in pain. They probably thought I was just exaggerating because I was screaming and crying, but I wasn't. My body was cramped up. You ever woke up in the middle of the night because of a Charlie horse in your leg? Imagine that being your whole body, especially in your rib cage. I'm in the little private area, the emergency room, with the curtains pulled. My nurse came in with the IV bags and the fluids. My mom let her know off jump she's a hard stick. You might want to go get some warm packs for her arm. After 3 sticks, mother said, you're not sticking my daughter no more. That's just it. The nurse left. She went to the attending doctor, and there was only 2 options left. My neck or my foot. The attending doctor came in. He stuck me in my foot. I screamed so loud It was painful. I don't know if he hit something by an accident. It hurt so bad. I cried so much, like, it was just noises coming out. No tears was just coming out my face because I was already dehydrated. So now I looked at my mom and she's crying. So she stepped out the room. So they took a break. And after about 10 minutes, the doctor came back and they stuck me in my neck. Tilted the bed like back because, you know, I guess because the blood would rush up to my head and they'll see the veins more clear. So they tilted the bed back and he found a vein. I think it was this. I still have the mark. I think it's on this. I can't see. Oh, let me listen. It's on one of the sides of my neck. And he stuck me. They hooked up the IV. And about 3 minutes later, the nurse came in and she gave me my morphine. I was out for a few hours. That's why I became addicted to pain medicines, because I was able to escape reality. I was able to sleep. And when I was asleep, sometimes I would get up to vomit, but then I'll just go back to sleep. And sometimes I was able to sleep a whole few hours straight through. As the 2 IV bags finished, and the nurse came into the room and told my mom they're going to be admitting me to the hospital. And they really didn't do much for me, but hydrate me, discharge, back home. I was home for maybe a day and a half before my mom had to call 911 to be rushed to the hospital. She called 911, told them the situation. They came right away. For some reason, firefighters always got to my house first before the EMT. So when the firefighters came, my mom told them the situation, and they checked my blood sugar, my pressure, and all that. And they said her condition is too severe for us to go all the way up to Weill Cornell. They said either Brookdale or Wyckoff. Wyckoff Hospital told me there was nothing wrong with me. So I was not going back there. My mom said, okay, well, I'll just take her myself. So we ended up going to Weill Cornell. Now, I'm rushed into the ER. I'm vomiting like the freaking exorcist. My mom's explaining the situation to them. They got me on the bed. They gave me IV fluids, and then they gave me Ativan, and that somewhat seized the vomiting, and it also helped my anxiety. A few hours after being in the ER, my GI surgeon, he came downstairs and he came to visit me, and he looked at me and he was like, oh no, we got to get you better. He said, we're going to give you the gastric pacemaker. My mom was talking, going back and forth, and he said, next time I'll see you, we will discuss the gastric pacemaker. The nurse came back and said we're going to admit her to the hospital. My surgery wasn't scheduled until January 28th. I stayed there for about 2 weeks, and I got a little bit better, but I got somewhat better, and I was able to be discharged, and I was able to go home. The day after I was discharged, I had a follow-up appointment with Dr. Zanagar, and on our way there, my mom looked at me and she said, you don't look good. And I'm like, oh, damn. So we're sitting down waiting, and then one of his assistants, or I guess someone under him, like studying to be a GI surgeon, or you know how that goes, she called my name, and my mom's helping me walk to his office, and she looked at me and she was like, sit right here, we're going to check your blood pressure. My blood pressure was extremely, extremely low. They said, we don't even know how you're functioning. So they brought a stretcher up to the office, and they took me down to the ER and I was admitted again. I stayed in the hospital until my surgery. I spent the whole month of January in the hospital. I didn't get my pacemaker when I was supposed to get my pacemaker. Let's put it at that. I don't know what happened, when it happened, but it happened. I didn't get my pacemaker when I was supposed to get it. I was supposed to get it January 28th. I didn't get it until July 13th, 2016. Part 2 will explain what happened in January, why I didn't get it. Thank you for watching, listening. Like, comment, subscribe to join my beautiful family. Stay happy, healthy, and blessed. Bye, guys. I see you guys. Well, you'll see me. I'm going to see you guys in my next video. But y'all get what I'm saying. Bye.